This is the story of Game 21 of the 1960 World Championship between Tal and Botvinnik. By this point, Tal was already leading 12-8 and needed only half a point to secure the crown. For Botvinnik, the path was nearly impossible. He needed to win the next 4 games straight to save his title. So before the game even started, Tal and his team had already made a plan. They wanted to choose an opening that would either force Botvinnik to fight or allow them to drift into calm waters. And what better way to do that than with the Queen's Indian defense, a clear signal of peaceful play. And peaceful it was. In fact, this turned out to be one of the most tranquil games of the entire match. As Tal later admitted, he simply wasn't in the mood to fight. After all, the title was already within his grasp. With neither player wanting to push too hard, the game ended in a draw, securing Tal's victory and the title of World Chess Champion at just 23 years old.
The second most popular starting move, d4, immediately establishes a presence in the center of the board. A sharp opening, allowing white to build a pawn center in favor of piece development. Building a strong center by controlling the d5 square. e6 opens up a line for the dark-squared bishop and prepares to castle quickly, while preparing to push a pawn to d5 and recapture with a pawn if captured. Knight f3 develops toward the center, putting pressure on the e5 square and adding another defender to the d4 pawn. The Queen's Indian defense prepares to fianchetto the light-squared bishop on b7, where it will have influence on the long diagonal. g3 prepares to fianchetto the light-squared bishop on g2, where it will sit on the long diagonal. Bishop b7 puts the bishop on the long diagonal in a move called a fianchetto. Bishop g2 puts the bishop on the long diagonal in a move called a fianchetto. Bishop e7 develops the bishop and prepares to castle. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. Knight c3 develops the knight toward the center and controls the d5 and e4 squares. Knight e4 places the knight on a center square, where it attacks the knight on c3 and the f2 pawn. Queen c2 develops the queen and attacks the knight on e4. Knight takes c3 captures the knight on c3 and opens up the light-squared bishop on b7. Queen takes c3 recaptures the knight and supports the d4 and c4 pawns. f5 gains space on the king side and controls the e4 square. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. Solid. Continuing with standard opening theory. The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense. Textbook play so far. White activates the last piece, bringing all pieces into play. Moving the queen gives black more flexibility in the middle game. This threatens to win a rook by trapping a piece. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. A clear recapture. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. The piece finds a new active square. This defends a knight that was under attack and had no defenders. This allows the knight to control more squares. With the rook now developed as well, black has all pieces ready for action. A solid choice. This protects an underdefended pawn that is under attack. This protects an underdefended pawn that is under attack.